continue with this amazing enterprise that has seen people get rich. Daily income is the way to go. Coming up on Seeds of Gold.
The way you identify a sick cow, morning hours when you actually easily identify a sick cow. When it is sick, the ears will be down, they will not be straight.
Animal health care is a wide spectrum and people need to understand it. If the animal has an infection and it has not yet developed into a condition, these bacteriostatic drugs are going to stop the infection from multiplying, as the animal also builds immunity to fight the infection.
Animal health care on the farm is extremely vital if one wants to reap big from a dairy farm. At this farm, this has been catered for in a big way.
The way you identify a sick cow, first of all, you in the morning, it's actually better in the morning, because morning hours when you actually easily identify a sick cow. First of all, you first look at the ears. When it is sick, the ears will be down, they will not be straight, they will not be like this, they will be down like this. Then you know there's a problem with that cow. Then you also look at its behaviors. For example, it does not take water. When you take it to drink water, it will not drink water. Eating grass, you will see it and you identify it. Eating grass, it will not eat grass, it will keep on standing there. And for example, if it is good when you have a thermometer, when you have a thermometer, you put it in a crush and check it, and you will see the temperatures, and you know if this cow is really sick.
Animal health care is a wide spectrum, and people need to understand it through interacting with their vets. For example, here at this farm, we use long-acting drugs. Long-acting drugs, what are these drugs? We call them bacteriostatic drugs. For example, the Oxy 20%, Oxy 30%, those are very good drugs. And what do they mean? If the animal has an infection and it has not yet developed into a condition, these bacteriostatic drugs are going to stop the infection from multiplying, as the animal also builds immunity to fight the infection. So it is very important for us to know the types of diseases that attack our area. For example, here, the first disease that we have is ECF, locally known as Amashio. The other disease that we have in this area is FMD, foot and mouth disease, locally known as Ejwa. The other disease that we have that also disturbs us around here is the lumpy skin, locally known as H-Fruto. So what do? You vaccinate. You have to vaccinate your animals for ECF, so that by the time they get that infection, it does not multiply. The animal is able to already fight that disease on itself. When we come to FMD, the foot and mouth disease, it came and got us last year by surprise. But for us here on this farm, we had made enough research. We knew all the strains, all the 6 strains, that is cell type A, cell type O, cell type C. And there was also another strain that came from South Africa, that is SAT1, SAT2 and SAT3. So what happens is that normally the strain that attacks your cows is that one that you did not vaccinate against. So what you do, you have to be very cautious when it comes to those different strains. When we also come to the point of the spraying, deworming, animal health care, we need to be able to deworm. We have to know the dewormers that we are using and the classes. People are not sure about the classes of dewormers, they just go and buy. We have so many classes. We have the benzimidazoles, we have the macrocyclic drugs. Benzimidazoles, we can say albendazole, albenol, those albendazole drugs. So if last time or the other month you used albendazole, this time you should not use albeno, because that is almost the same drug. So you have to know the classes. Then the microcyclic drugs, we also have the ivermectins, the intermectins, biomectins. So you have to interchange those drugs. The other drugs we have are called levamisoles. Now the levamisoles, that's where we find the liver fast diamonds and others. So each drug there combats a certain type of internal or external parasite. We have to be well conversant with those drugs. Then another problem we have around this area is ticks. We have those ticks, Twinengoha. For you to be able to combat these ticks, you need to also know the classes of drugs or the molecules. most of these drugs have different molecules. For example, when we talk about the organophosphates, the organopyrethroids, the pyrethroids, and the amidins. If I was using, for example, if I was using duodip, I cannot come again and use protide because those are now organopyrethroids. You have to be conversant with those classes and interchange them around. So for example, if I was using milbitraz, after 6 months, I'm required to change. And if I am to change, I cannot now buy norotraz because those are, the way you hear traz, those are almost drugs with the same molecule. So now I will need to change, maybe to protide, to duodip. Different classes should be interchanged and rotated around according to how you've been administering them back.
All the above has not come without challenges, of course. Mark takes us through these and how they at the farm have managed to mitigate them.
Well, most challenges here we have the problem of the milk prices. Our milk prices around here are not stable. They're very volatile. This time they're at 1,000, the other time they're at 500 shillings. So how are we able to mitigate these challenges? We managed to get another form of income which is breeding heifers for sale, for breeders, which is in-calf heifers. So while we have the milk prices being volatile, we also have another income for our farm, which is the in-calf heifers, which we sell off, and the non-in-calf heifers. Then we also have the breeding bulls, which are also another source of income for our farm. So we try to mitigate the low prices by also incorporating other ways we can bring in income. Here on our farm, our aim is to minimize the cost of production and to maximize our profits. That is why we do all this. All this research is done with that at the back of our minds.
Despite all the challenges, Kamate Dairy Farm, together with other community farmers, devised means and formed a cooperative. This bought a cooler that helps them add value to the milk. With this, the milk's shelf life is longer and the price is a little higher. Every 15 days, these farmers are assured of their money. Distribution is on the daily. This has benefited the community in a big way.
This you see here behind me is a cooler, a milk cooler. This cooler was gotten through a cooperative society where farmers came together and formed a cooperative society. This cooler accommodates 5,300 liters. This milk is gotten from farmers around and brought here at this is the correction center where milk is being put. This milk, we ensure general cleanliness here because the place has to be clean in order our milk to be good milk. So it is first sieved before it is put in a cooler, as you can see. It is being put in a cooler, then it becomes chilled milk. And you see chilled milk is good milk because it adds on the amount of money that you're going to be given by the buyer. Chilled milk is better than the warm milk. That's the difference between the chilled milk and the warm milk. The price is a bit higher compared to the warm milk. They bring milk at this dairy twice a day, morning and evening. People have gained from this society. They have gotten employment opportunities here. People have been able to work here and feed their families and take their children to school. They have gained from this so much.
This farm is very crucial. This farm has been a very vital source of income for the rural families around. For example, at this farm, we have over 50 workers. When we get the bush clearers, the people in charge of milking, the people in charge of the different herds we distribute around, if you put all that number together, we've got about 50-55 workers on this farm. So all those people have families and we are able to support each other. They help us and we also help them. So that is how we have been able to interconnect with the public. Then about the environment, these animals you see always produce manure. When they are eating, when they are grazing, they always produce manure. So that helps to maintain the nutrient in the soil. It's maintained, and that's why you see our paddocks are doing so well, because of that constant manure. And it's also good for the environment because the soil keeps maintaining its nutrients and its fertility. Then also, while we are doing bush clearing, we show these people the exact things to be cut down, the weeds that we don't want. The trees, like you can see, are left around. So this kind of setting will not allow your climate to be changed drastically. It has to be the same climate since you have these trees. Deforestation is not our way to go. We only do the cleaning up of the weeds alone. So that also contributes to the climate of the environment, and these things they work hand in hand, the agroecological zones and the animals and everything. Well, about record keeping, we keep records of calving records. We keep records of we keep the records of the mothers and the calves. For example, if there is a certain cow here, you can see some of them, most of them have numbers. For example, 502 could be having a mother 400. So we keep that for the buyers who normally come and ask, who are the parents of these animals? Which are the parents of these animals? And we take them through the books, we show them, and we also take them to the herd. That is for the calving records. Then for the milk records, we keep them at our cooler, at our collecting center, and we are able to track those milk records from that side.
These youngsters cannot imagine a life of being employed vis-a-vis creating their own jobs.
Well, having a white-collar job, that's very good, because you'll use your job to finance your farm, and when times are hard, you can also use your farm to finance your job. So those two are interrelated. However, now for example, at this farm, we are able to sell about 50 heifers every year, and each heifer goes for about, say, 4 million, 5 million. So if you're to do the math there, that's some good cash that a white-collar job would not be able to raise, or would be able to raise for a very long time. Then also, we look at you being self-employed. When I am self-employed at this farm, I actually do not have anyone who is going to be at my back, and I do things according to my way, and I know I am in charge. There is no one who is there to supervise me, so I have to do this, and everything has to be interrelated. It is easier to know that you're in charge, and if anything is to happen, it's you who is there for it. So unlike other jobs whereby maybe you have your boss, and your boss could be stressing you, and then that would also affect the type and the quality of work you do. Well, if you have a job for me for 4 million right now, well, I would do it, but over the weekend, like on Friday, I would make sure that I'm driving back to the bush or to the village to see what is really going on at my farm. Jobs are very good to do. If you can get a job out there and do it, kindly go ahead. But if you can also do something outside town during the weekend, please, it's always a pleasure. It's good.
These youth are well educated. All of them have degrees and are applying their expertise on the farm in their respective professions. And this is how.
For the human resource, it starts with you. It actually starts with recruitment. The people you have recruited at the farm. Human resource is very important, and recruitment is also the first thing you're supposed to do. In human resource, recruitment is very important. The people you're bringing in the farm, do they know what they are going to do? Do they know what they are doing? If they don't know, then you have to teach them. You have to show them what to do. You have to supervise them. In agribusiness, we say, it is what you inspect that gets done, not what you expect. So you're the owner of the farm. You have to be there. Not telephone farming, because telephone farming here does not work. Because you will keep on calling and they will be telling you the cows are dead, such problems. You have to be there, you the owner of the farm. Yeah, on this farm, once a worker is introduced to this farm, you first have to show him what to do, how things are done, to identify the heifers, the ones that are on heat. You have to show him if he doesn't know, because some of them don't know. They come, they don't know the heifer that is going to be on heat. You have to teach him.
And now we meet the youngest of all, the procurement officer, Frederick. He loves the cow for all the reasons.
At the farm, we acquire goods, of course, like the drugs for the cows, like for instance, pen strip, the salt for the cows, the injections. And then we acquire even the attires that are used at the farm. For instance, the gumboots, torches. For example, if you're inspecting the farm at night, when there is no moonlight, you use a torch, right? So procurement is applied everywhere, different farms, even in some organizations. You said if you get a job of 4 million, you're in office, you're getting 4 million. But remember, the 4 million in Kampala, the 4 million today, it's not easy. Which office can pay you 4 million? It's a hassle. It's a hard thing. So when we resort to farming, we have the benefits we get from farming. For example, if you're selling like 200 liters of milk, of course that's money. That's your money, or it's your parents' money. But when you're at the farm, for instance, if you're controlling the sector of procurement, you're buying drugs, your parent or your dad gives you the opportunity to also utilize the money you have, whereby your boss, which is not for the case of being employed, your boss, even if he's getting, he or she is getting 15 million per month as his profit, it's his profit, not mine. So at the farm, I gain my own profits. My advice to the youth is very simple. You really stick on your passion. If your passion is farming, please don't stay in Kampala and meander around. Just go to the farm, help your parents. For instance, myself, my dad is a farmer, and he has educated us like over 10 kids through farming. He sells his cows, he sells his milk, he sells his goats, and he educated us. He's not working in any government office, but the money and the tuition, the school fees he has been giving us is from his farm. So I get the courage and the inspiration of farming from my parents, because this is inherited. He didn't go to school, but he has enabled to educate us. He has like 8 degrees in the family, in his house, through farming. So the best advice I would give to the youth is really stick on your passion. If you really want to be a soldier, go and do it. Don't hear people, listen to people's words that if you go to the army you'll die, or if you do farming you'll look a villager. No. So it's really sticking on your passion.
And of course, Mark, the IT general, he ensures all activities happen here at the farm swiftly. At only 28 years, he has been able to focus and achieve. You too can do this.
Well, the youth, I would advise the youth not to want to get rich very fast. This is a process. You come from point A to point B. Make sure that you're not backsliding and don't want to get rich so fast. These things work with time, consistency and passion. So I just request my fellow youth to be passionate in whatever work they are doing, be it farming, be it any other business. Just put the passion, put in the work ethic, consistency, and things will keep moving on. Well, here at Kamate Dairy Farm, we don't work so hard, but we work very smartly. We actually get different commissions from the heifers we sell off. We agree. We sit as a family and agree. Like I said, this is a family venture. We always sit and agree. It's not a one-man's thing. We all put in the work, so we all get profits. We get paid. It's not every day It's not every month, but when it comes in handy.
Next week on the show, we look at dairy farming in a different category, artificial insemination.
Sizitwala ku nnume. Sizitwala ku nnume. Musawo lukyamuzi yaziwakisa. N'omulala omusawo bamuyita wino. Eno yakagiwakisa erigwa kuligenda kweza myezi ebiri. Enegwa kuligenda kweza myezi ena.
These animals should be best fed from as early as 5 a.m. to as late as 11 a.m. That's when you give it the best time to rest, chew the cud, and then produce milk.